Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to talk about why I actually bought this car and why I don't consider it to be a loss at all. And really, it's going to be an interesting video, and I apologize if the audio is weird. We're actually downtown. I forgot my microphone, and I just wanted to record this quick video. I just wanted to talk about why I bought this car and what my thought process is as an 18-year-old entrepreneur buying a freaking BMW as my first car, and having worked up to this point, what it means to me. Honestly, you know, this car just is like a physical manifestation, and I'm a huge car guy, love BMWs. I couldn't ask for a better first car. So it's actually really cold, so we're gonna hop into the car for the remainder of the video. It keeps going back into park. Now, let me see this real quick. I'm thinking. So just for a little context, my videographer, Gage, is actually, you can turn the camera to you, Gage. He's one of the students who came to the mastermind that me and my partner Elliot hosted, and within, was it like 3 weeks, he went from making no money to now you have $5,000 in monthly retainers lined up for his agency.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks.
It's been only freaking 3 weeks. Of course, he's been living with me and Elliot, so we've been able to help him like one-on-one, but it just shows you the power of really what we understand, what I understand as a young entrepreneur, and the things that we can leverage. So, well, here's why I bought the BMW. So I want to talk about this in a video because I feel like a lot of people are like concerned, or maybe they don't quite understand. The reality is, there's a couple reasons. The first reason, more than anything else, is the positioning of having a nicer ride. So, you know, if I pull up to a client meeting, or I pull up to, you know, an event of some kind, of networking event, and, you know, like a Prius or something, or like, you know, a 2002 Toyota, then I don't have the same authority. All of a sudden, I've lost a bunch of my authority, and I lose credibility. And that same exact psychology runs out into the internet, right? And so especially as a personal brand, as someone who monetizes their online presence, I have to have something that actually appeals to the types of people that I want to work with, right? And so if I drove a cruddy car, then that would actually really degrade the equity that I've poured into my brand over the years, right? And so I decided on a first car to be a BMW because I know that it's going to make me money in return. And so I literally got a text from one of my business mentors who runs a massive consulting agency. It's a multi-million-dollar consulting agency. He helps businesses with their marketing, with their funnel building, with whatever he can really get his hands on, website building, whatever. It's just a massive consulting agency for digital businesses. And he shoots me this text. He said, "Hey man, if you want to know how you can turn that car into a positive return on your investment, here's how." He said, one, when somebody books you for something or comes into your agency or works with you, then you can actually leverage the car to, you know, like if I had a client here in the passenger seat instead of Gage, right? Like I would be chatting up with them, I'd be having a good time with them, they'd see the nice ride, they understand that I have a high standard for my personal behavior and that my business is thriving enough that I can afford something like this, right? And that actually turns into a positive return on my investment because, of course, it's unpredictable, the effect that it has. You can't measure the effect that it has, but it absolutely has an effect. The second I bought this car, my entire social circle, all my clients, everybody viewed me completely different. And not only that, but I can put it on the front page of my Instagram or any website that I host myself on, like LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they can see that I own a car like this and actually say, you know, hey, okay, the kid's making decent enough money to afford a car like that. His business must be doing well. I should show him some respect. So networking becomes much easier. And it's kind of a sad reality, but it's a true reality that we have to leverage. That presentation is one of the first and foremost and most important aspects of interconnecting with people. So ultimately, this car is a rapport builder for me. And if you don't understand in business, one of the most important things is to have rapport with your customers, and is to have rapport with the people that are either going to work with you, are working with you, or even complete and total random strangers. It's also why I have, you know, developed a bit of a fashion sense. You know, in the past 5 years, or less than that, in the past year and a half, I've gone from, you know, wearing like sweatpants and like barely taking care of myself to now, you know, I wear like nice sweaters, and I've bought a couple nice watches, and, you know, I have this like streetwear sort of thing going on, and that appeals to the types of people that typically want to work with me, which are typically younger guys, typically, you know, running their own business or CEOs of their own business or whatever, right? And so to have this piece of branding and, you know, wear nice clothes and speak well and hold myself well is a massive, massive positive return on my investment. So if you're a business owner of any kind, or, you know, you're a personal brand of any kind, or you are really anybody who's trying to win people over, something you have to understand, or, you don't even have to be in business to be winning people over. Something you have to understand are the biases that your niche has. My niche is business. I help people in business. I'm a business person. I run an agency. I sell programs online, and I take in students that I teach up in the world of business like Gage, right? And I cannot, the first impression of me, like if Gage's first impression of me was that dude who was a year and a half ago wearing sweatpants and like barely took care of himself and smelled horrible and, drove his dad's car everywhere and all this crap, like he wouldn't have the respect for me that he did when all he knew about me was that I'm a successful kid who runs an online business and drives a nice car and does all these things, right? Like that first impression brings people in. So you have to understand, look, it's about building that front end rapport. And so in order to build rapport, you have to speak to the biases of those whom you're trying to build rapport with at the start. Once you have those biases in place and they recognize you as an authority because of their biases, then you can begin to become more interpersonal, and then you can become to dig in with them, right? And so this is like a bridge. It's acting like a bridge for me to connect with the people that I want to connect with because they naturally have a bias towards nicer things. Most people in business do, right? And so if I can leverage this car and leverage a style, leverage a good personal brand, leverage a good online presence and sort of an online brand, then I can take that and really do whatever I want with it down the line. I can land any job I want. I can have any client I want, as long as my brand meets the biases of those clients and helps me build rapport with them. Now, once I've met their biases with this car or whatever, let's say, a student wants to enroll in a program of mine, they see the car, they see that I've been able to purchase the car, they're like, okay, he has authority, I'm gonna enroll in the program. Once he's done that, I can't just end the relationship there. Once I have rapport and they've begun the relationship, I have to actually now bring them value, right? And so that being said, you can't let a car replace poor execution, or you can't let a good fashion sense replace poor execution. You have to truly be a good business person, and you have to understand that bringing value to your customers is far above and beyond any other any other priority, really, So if I were to just buy this car and call it the end of the day and then start screwing over my customers, then that's not good, right? That's really not what you need to do. What you need to do is find biases, leverage the biases to build front-end rapport. Once you have front-end rapport, deliver tons of value and eventually convert these people into sales. Once you have them as a sale, continue to develop the relationship. But if you didn't have that front-end rapport building bias, then you wouldn't have been able to get in the door. And so that's why I bought this car, is because the money that I put down on this car, I've already almost earned back, from my business, because, and probably in hand because of the car, right? Which is just an incredible thing. If you understand the biases of your niche, you can speak to them and build rapport quickly. So if I can summarize why I bought the car, it's that. It's because I know it's gonna make me money, because I can leverage it to help me connect with people on a more interpersonal level. And if you're thinking about going for a big buy like this, buying a nice car, buying, maybe even something way nicer than this, maybe you're a younger guy who's doing way better than me and you're looking to buy a nice car, do it. I think it's a wonderful investment into your persona and into your brand and into the first impression that somebody has of you, right? Now, what I don't recommend that you do is make that be the end of the relationship. All that people know about you is that you drive nice cars, nothing else, right? What you need to do is say, I got this car because of this reason, right? Or maybe you have to explain what the car means to you. Like for me, this is a manifestation of the work that I've put in. And it's an incredible feeling to get to drive it around, because it's and I've worked for this for years, right? Ever since I was 14, I ran my graphic design agency, and I could have never bought this car on that money, ever. There's no way I could have possibly ever bought this car on that money. But now here I am at 18 years old, making enough money to put quite a bit of money down on this car and drive it wherever I want, show up to any event that I want. I show up to old social circles, old friends of mine are impressed by it, and it's it shows, okay, he knows what he's doing, right? So it's an investment because now I'm being taken seriously. But that being said, right, you don't want that to be the end of the relationship. And as well, it's a physical manifestation of your work. And I do believe that even if this doesn't bring me a positive ROI directly in business, emotionally, it's been an incredible feeling, because it's okay, all of a sudden, this thing isn't just, numbers in a bank account. This is a physical thing that I can feel and touch and be in and experience. And now it's literally that certain amount of money that I've put into this car is like I'm being physically surrounded in it, and I'm feeling the work that I put, like every button that I push and every like time I put down the gas pedal, it's like that's a decision that I made 3 years ago that is now compounded into right now, you know. And every single turn that I make, it's like that is a business connection that I like. It's like this is the result of good decisions, right? And it's an incredible feeling to get to see what you've done build into this result. And so I think there's nothing wrong at all with spending money on something that you love and that you have decided is that you're worthy of, right? And ultimately the marketplace decides your worth. The marketplace only rewards people with money who deserve the money. You'll never get money if you don't deserve it. You have to bring value to the marketplace. And so then to exchange that value, which is money, back into the marketplace for something that you've earned because you've brought enough value to the marketplace in the first place, there's nothing wrong with it. I think there's everything right with it, actually, because that's how money's supposed to work. It's supposed to come in and flow back out, come in and flow back out. You're supposed to give money. You're supposed to donate money. You're supposed to give money to people that you love and care about. Somebody that I was learning from in finance, it was a husband and a wife. The husband was teaching me. He said, me and my wife, we have they call it a ministry fund or a service fund, and they just put money away on a monthly basis. Every bit that they tithe, they put away on a monthly basis. So if you're not a tither, that's okay, but I put 10% away, right, to the church. And every bit that they tithe, they double that and put it into a ministry account where when something happens with a friend or a colleague or something, they have money stacked, right? And that's another physical manifestation of the work that you do. That's a much more long-term appealing gratification than a freaking BMW, by the way. So if you want to manifest your business into something good, have a why, have a why that makes you cry. I love that phrase. Give money away, be generous with it, and be a loving person with your money. Don't make it about you, right? This car isn't about me. It's not. It's about winning my customers over better, having that good first impression with people, because I know that I can impact people's lives. Because I'm an internet marketer, I can send more customers to businesses, right? And a business is somebody's like lifeline. So if I can help somebody's lifeline and make their life better. Sorry about that, video cut out, don't know why. Anyway, back to the video. If I can make somebody's life better with my business, then I'm gonna do everything I possibly can do to convince them with that first impression, right? Because I believe in my products. They change people's lives. I believe in my services. They change people's lives. And if I can utilize those services to change people's lives, I need to speak to their biases first. If the first thing you hear about me is, hey, my product can change your life, you don't care. You need to see your bias first. You need to see the proof, right? Which is either, results with other customers or the car or something. And so if I know that my products can change lives and I know that they can impact people, then I have to speak your language first, right? And so I think that pretty much sums up the video. To be honest with you, it's about speaking to biases, it's about building my personal brand, it's about winning over more customers, and it's about taking the money that I've earned and like manifesting it into this wonderful thing, like this physical like surrounding. Like I don't think anybody else will ever understand the feeling that I get when I hop into this car, because it's like, it's not only my first car, but it's a really, really nice car, and it's something that I can like feel. It's like my money is now in a physical object, and it's an incredible feeling. And if you believe in your products and services, it's not a, oh, I've scammed enough people to be able to afford it. It's a, I've served enough people and changed enough lives and brought enough value to people, and here I am. And it's like, you've given. You've given 100 things, and you get this one little thing back, and that one little thing makes all the 100 things that you've given away worth it, and it's an incredible feeling. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe down below and turn on notifications as well so you can get updated when I upload. Be the first to comment down below. I respond to all the comments, and leave a like if I brought you any value or changed a perspective of some kind. As well, join my Facebook group down below as well for entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, offline entrepreneurs, pretty much anybody that loves what I'm doing. Go join there and you can get more from me, more free education. I give away all kinds of free resources in that group. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.